Hello Year 11 and welcome to this quick talk through of the English language and English paper Unit 1, Understanding and Producing Non-Fiction Text. This is the higher tier one, very similar to the foundation tier in many ways. I'll just talk you through some of the key differences. Right, as you can see it's 2¼ hours, quite a long exam, one of the longest that you'll do. Do bear in mind that 15 minutes of that is supposed to be reading time and you're only supposed to spend an hour on each section. Okay, so this is what it looks like, all the sort of gumph at the beginning. Let's have a look at the actual questions, shall we? Right. Okay, so here we go. Section A, reading. Answer all the questions in this section, and in fact, all the questions on the paper. There's no choice. Just answer every question. Spend an hour on this section. I can't stress enough how important it is that you do follow that advice and spend an hour. Because if you spend an hour and a half on the reading, you don't have time to do the writing. You don't have time to pick up all those marks that are available in the writing section. Okay, so be very, very disciplined about that, please. Okay, question number 1. Read source 1, the online travel article. What do you learn from Elizabeth Hyde's article about where she's been and what she has been doing? So this question, the skill is about information, about showing your understanding of what the text means, about inference, which is the idea of reading between the lines to work out meaning that maybe isn't explicitly said. Okay, you'd be looking for 8 marks. You'd get all of this space to do it, which you don't have to use all this space. A classic mistake is that people will look at that question, look at all that space, and then spend half an hour answering that question, when in actual fact you've got nowhere near half an hour to answer that question. So the maximum you should spend is about 15 minutes on this question and then move on. Don't feel you have to fill the space. Right, question 2 is this. Now read source 2, the article and the picture which goes with it, called Fearsome Tyrannosaurus Rex Sue May Have Died of a Sore Throat by Ian Sample. Explain how the headline, subheadline and picture are effective and how they link with the text. Now this one then is about presentation. So all the work that we've done about presentational devices is where you'd use it here. It's precise in that it chooses the presentational device it wants you to write about, and this is the key thing here, which is a bit different. How does it link with the text? Okay, so that it's not just saying in the foundation paper it says how does the presentation used for effect. In this example it's being a bit more precise, so you might not be able to write about any type of presentation. You might have to write about the one that they give you to write about. Okay, but still, it's the same basic thing of writing about the use of presentation, and the resources on that will be useful for you. Yeah. Right. Third question. Now read source 3, Everest: The Hard Way, which is an extract from a non-fiction book, presumably about climbing Everest. Explain which parts of Pete Boardman's story of the return to Camp 6 you find tense and exciting. Now the slight difference here is that it's a bit more personal. Which bits do you find tense and exciting? To do this well, you've got to explain your thoughts and feelings linked to the text, and focus on these key words. Which bits you find tense and which bits you find exciting, and of course explain why. So you'll be looking at an answer. One part of the story I find tense and exciting is, or one part of the story I find tense is this bit. Maybe give a quotation and then explain your answer. And the final question of the reading section is about use of language. We've done a lot of work on that. How does the writer use language? Compare the different ways in which language is used for effect in the two texts. Give some examples and analyse what the effects are. So it's really important to compare the ways language is used for effect. Now it might tell you, it might say the way it's used to persuade, or the way language is used to argue, or something else. In this case it's just said used for effect, so to kind of influence or affect the reader. Really important that you're using comparing, really important that you're using PEE to develop your answer, and using the putting it more precisely sheet that's on your blog or on Charwell Online to help you with that. It's a longer question. Okay, any questions, see me about that, please.